Some big news coming in from the Indian Army. 4 Indian Army personnel, including the commanding officer, major of 21 Rashtriya Rifles unit, along with 2 soldiers and 1 Jammu and Kashmir police, lost their lives in an encounter in Jammu and Kashmir's Handwara. The team of 21 RR had entered the house of a civilian to prevent a hostage situation when they came under attack from terrorists who had already reached the spot. The 4 army men and the police sub-inspector lost their lives in the encounter. The civilians stuck in the house were also safely evacuated as both terrorists have been gunned down. Unfortunate news here. We're looking at news coming in of 4 army personnel, 4 Indian Army personnel, including commanding officer, major of 21 Rashtriya Rifles unit, along with 2 soldiers and 1 Jammu and Kashmir police, lost lives in an encounter in Jammu and Kashmir's Handwara area. The team of 21 RR had entered the house of a civilian to prevent a hostage situation when they came under attack from those terrorists who had already reached the spot.
Encounter between the security forces and the militants going on in the Handwara area is now over. And in this operation, the army has lost one of its commanding officers, 1 major and 2 jawans. Also, 1 police officer got martyred in the encounter. These 5 security officials yesterday lost the contact with the unit as they were the part of the operation and trapped in the encounter site. Sunday morning, when there was the clearance of debris, 7 dead bodies have been recovered by the security forces, which include the bodies of 5 security officials and 2 militants, which are believed to be the part of newly infiltrated group. The operation is over, but the searches and the cordon in the vast area is currently on. The army believes that probably the group which may have recently infiltrated may be comprising of some more militants. That is why this search operation is currently going on in the Rajwar forests of Handwara. With Roof Ahmed, Ashrafani for India Today in Handwara.
For more details on this, Shujaul Haq reporting from Srinagar, giving us some details. Shuja, do bring us some information about this encounter that has taken place. Any word on the origin of these terrorists? We hear that they already reached the spot when our army personnel entered. That's when, in the crossfire, we lost them.
Well, that's correct, Nabila. This encounter actually had begun yesterday after there was, a spotting of these 2 militants in this area of the Rajwar forest. What had actually happened is that there was information that the security forces had about this possibly newly infiltrated group of militants, and they were intercepted in one of the forest areas yesterday in the morning in itself. But they somehow had managed to escape from that spot. However, later in the day, they were tracked to another spot in the Rajwar forest where this encounter finally took place. But when this encounter was started, the army and the other security forces went in. It was at that point of time, which was in the initial stages of this encounter, that these officers, which includes a commanding officer of the army as well and a sub-inspector of the police, they somehow got into the same house where these militants were also trapped in. We are given to understand that there was an intense gun battle that ensued, but since last night there was absolutely no communication with these officers, with the other unit that was outside, in this encounter. And throughout the night there were speculations being made about their whereabouts, but in the morning, when the entire thing became clear, now we're given to understand that it has been a loss of 5 lives that the security forces, had to incur, which included a commanding officer as well. We just spoke to the DG of the J&K police, and he has expressed his condolences to those who have lost their lives in this encounter. A huge development this morning coming in from Handwara, where we're...
Shuja, absolutely unfortunate. Let's quickly go over to Kamaljeet Sandhu joining us for more on this. Kamaljeet, this attack where we've lost 5 of our jawans, very unfortunate. Jammu and Kashmir police also lost his life, all when they went to save civilians there. The militants, of course, the terrorists there also have been gunned down.
Well, it's been a very long night for security forces. The encounter had begun, as Shuja was pointing out, just about yesterday in the afternoon. The officers were stuck along with their particular team. Now, all 5 of them have been martyred. We've been told there are details coming out regarding the encounter, that they were stuck inside the house, and this is where the firefight really began. There were encounter, paras were called in, and yes, a rescue operation was launched. However, the lives could not be saved. 2 terrorists have been gunned down. But remember, in all encounters so far, at least 64 terrorists have been killed. At least 12 of them have been foreign terrorists. But the real worry is regarding these FTs, or the foreign terrorists who've been trying to come in. It's been over 8 months now since Article 370 has been abrogated. Pakistan has been trying to push in as many terrorists as possible. We're looking at an extremely hot summer. There will be more counter-terror operations. Now, at least 42 of the militants killed so far are local militants. But the rest of the terrorists coming in, and we've been told a large number has managed to infiltrate over the past few months. They are the ones which are a real worry. So we do expect more counter-terror operations to take place. But since North Kashmir is also an area where infiltration takes place, this is where the area next to POK is. So that is where Pakistan is trying to push in terrorists. Yesterday, they were obviously on the social media, several Pakistani handles talking about the men being trapped. Now, there is an eye which has been looked out at these particular handles. But clearly, this is a temporary setback for the Indian Army and security forces. But yes, they will get back in action. There will be more counter-terror operation. But yes, a big loss coming their way. 2 army officers, including jawans, and then 1 sub-inspector, we've been told, Shakil Ghazi, was looking at the SOG in charge in Handwara area, and he's also been martyred along with the army officers.
Right.
Terrible coming in this Sunday morning.
Absolutely. Kamaljeet, we're absolutely saddened. We've lost 5 of our jawans, 4 from the army and 1 police officer from Jammu and Kashmir were martyred, while 2 terrorists were gunned down in this crossfire.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.